Tonight, special assignment. It is one of the most famous UFO stories ever in Arizona. And now, after all these years, what this man wants you to know. Ask anybody around when it happened. The famous UFO encounter at Snowflake.
A small Arizona town suddenly thrust into the international spotlight after what happened in the forest. And tonight, Kevin Keene shows us what the man in the middle of it all is saying now in this Not on Your Side special assignment.
Jennifer, many of the people there have not talked much over the decades. Well, they're talking to me tonight about that night near Snowflake, the night Travis Walton disappeared.
November 5th, 1975. 7 men, a logging crew in the White Mountains. Suddenly, in the darkness,
we encountered an object on the way home.
Travis Walton is 22 at the time.
To me, it was just the urge to see it up close before it got away.
The 90s sci-fi flick Fire in the Sky shows what Travis says it is, a spaceship.
I was hit by a blast of energy from this craft.
His buddies all say they saw it too, Travis disappearing into the light. They ran to tell deputies and a massive search starts. Days later, Travis finally turns up on a street, half conscious, and soon telling everyone about the inside of the UFO.
People are very intrigued by the story.
Now, nearly 4 decades later, Travis and every single man there that day are all sticking to that story.
It's an ongoing battle.
Travis tells me he has spent years fighting what he calls misinformation.
That I had been hallucinating on drugs, that the hypnotist had planted these memories in my mind.
He wrote a tell-all book pointing out every crew member took a lie detector test. The conclusion? They were all being truthful. Travis says it's only a matter of time till everyone's a believer.
The skeptics are a bit like flat earthers.
Are you a flat earther?
Well, I don't think so. I have some conception of a pretty large universe.
Chris Impey heads the University of Arizona's astronomy department. He says fuzzy photos and personal stories don't cut it. Scientists need hard evidence as proof.
Some artifact, some physical object that we can look at, that anyone can look at and say, no, this isn't terrestrial, and no such object has ever been delivered into scientists' hands, so they remain skeptics.
Firm belief in what happened near Snowflake forced Steve Pierce to break his silence. He was there that night.
It just scared me so bad that I didn't talk about it.
And so he didn't until recently. Steve says he's speaking up and talking to me to get the truth out there.
My family still don't believe it. I've got 2 brothers that still don't believe it.
The same goes for Travis, and is one reason he actually regrets running toward the light that night.
I wished I'd have stayed in the truck. It derailed my life, and I wish I could have had it back.
Still, he's never changed his story, shown in Fire in the Sky, and neither have any of the witnesses. 40 years now, the mystery of Snowflake lives on.
That's a long time to stick to that story.
And 7 people we're talking about here. These are men who were in their teens or their 20s when it happened, and now they're in their 50s and 60s, all saying the same thing.
Wow.
That's what I say. Wow.
I know. Quite the story. Really interesting piece, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.